Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to do the biggest garden tour we have ever done. We are going to cover all of the gardens here at Creekside Nursery, both at the house, our personal gardens that you get to see here on video, and then we are going to hit the public gardens at the nursery. It is the end of June. I believe summer has officially begun now, and the gardens are absolutely gorgeous right now. As the time of airing, when this video airs, we will have just wrapped up our Creekside Signature Experience. So we wanted to show you, those folks who were not able to come to the Signature Experience, what our guests got to see, the gardens up close. But I will say also, in real time of filming, we have a couple of more days left and some fine tuning. So you're going to see a couple of the things that we still have left to do. You're going to see messes and successes, but if I have to say, this is probably as most close to perfect as our gardens are going to get right now, because we have these 70 plus guests coming to the Creekside Signature Experience. Lots of fun. This is meant to give you inspiration. If you get one plant idea from this video, then this is a massive success. We are starting here in the backyard, right? This is the path to the patio, and again, lush, beautiful. We are going to be racing the sun. It's about 7 something in the morning, so we're going to try to beat the sun because that's where you get to see all the beautiful. We have the pinkerific, virtuoso pinkerific dahlias. We have been faithfully deadheading these for the past couple of weeks, really trying to encourage those last, really beautiful blooms. That is the thing about dahlias. If you can deadhead them, then that really encourages gorgeous new blooms. There might be a couple in there that we need to hit before on Friday, but overall looking really well. And then of course behind that is the unplugged So Blue Salvia. Love this plant. It is more of a petite plant. It is not going to be a massive plant like the playing the blues, but yet it is still a huge pollinator attractor. Gorgeous plant. And then we planted the Quick Fire Fab hydrangeas 6-8 weeks ago, I think it was. And y'all, look at them. Are they not just fantastic? I'm so excited that they are going to be blooming for the event. Of course, we have the sweet osmanthus behind it. Creates a nice little privacy hedge, that wall behind, so the garden shed behind us. But the Quick Fire Fabs, nice and really strong stems. We have had tons of rain here in North Carolina, tons of rain. You can see we don't have any flopping whatsoever. Nice, beautiful, tight blooms on that. And so we're going to tiptoe around the rows and hope I don't get caught in the rows. But beautiful. I've already got honeybees coming on this. So lovely. This will get in that 5 to 6 foot tall range. So love that very much. And then probably if I have to choose like a favorite panicle hydrangea, it would be Little Lime Punch. So Little Lime Punch, this has been in the ground for maybe this is its 4th season, I believe it is. And y'all, fantastic. Again, extremely, very stocky. I would say it's even probably a little stockier than the Quick Fire Fab. They are just beginning to open, so they have that more of that little bit of that lime hue to them. As they are maturing, they're really going to turn that almost iridescent creamy white. And love these panicle hydrangeas. I personally love panicle hydrangeas because they can take the full sun. Most of my gardens are full sun. That's 6 hours or more of sun. They bloom on new wood. That means you're guaranteed to have flowers every single year. Doesn't matter if I get a late frost or something happens, you're guaranteed to get those beautiful flowers. So we've got the 2 Little Lime Punches right here, and then we have a pufferfish in the middle. Full disclosure, I have a pufferfish in the middle because originally there were 3 Little Lime Punches. Proven Winners sent us the Little Lime Punch when they were just first coming out onto the market. Planted them probably in the worst time in the heat of the summer. I lost the one in the middle. I didn't have any more, so I put a pufferfish there. So that's going to be really fun to see that combo between the 2 Little Lime Punches and then the pufferfish. And so fountain is going, we're gonna tiptoe out of here. We did, those of you that are faithful watchers of Creekside, we've talked about how we've kind of struggled with this path right here because of the way the water flows. We've had mulch in this path since we created it, and when we get really gully washers, truly gully washers, it washes all the mulch down. So just this week, Jerry and I put down some decorative gravel. I want to say this was what, 7/8 inch, somewhere around that, 3/4 inch decorative gravel, and we've had some good rain and it has held really well, so we are excited about that. Then let's see, let's come back up here. Let's do the forest pansy bed because we have, this area is called the forest pansy bed because of the forest pansy red bud that's in here. Hydrangeas are all the rage right now because they are coming into their glory. Believe it or not, this is Little Quickfire, right? Little Quickfire, she's not so little. Now this is a little bit up on a mounded of a hill. I don't even know if it's not even a hill, but she is a big, beautiful beast. So it is a panicle hydrangea. Within a panicle hydrangea, you can have a lace cap and a mop head. This is considered a lace cap panicle. The reason we say that is because look how open and airy those blooms are. Very accessible to all of your pollinators. Once the sun comes up and it gets a little bit of heat going in the day, this plant will absolutely be buzzing with honeybees. In fact, I saw one, she's right here. So your lace cap panicles are more open and airy that your pollinators can get into. That little lime punch and that quickfire fab, that's what we would call a panicle, like a mop head, because they're super, super tight in there. So again, another great panicle that blooms on new growth. And when I say I cut her down big time. So she is doing well. We also have some great evergreen interest with yin and yang viburnum right here. Great David I viburnum. Again, I pruned them down. They love this spot. And then Sugar Shack button bush. She is blooming. She is very happy in this space. And so I have actually had to selectively prune this shrub because she was starting to come over a little too much. But I'm gonna let Jerry get in here. And I want him to show you these really fun blooms on Sugar Shack. Buttonbush are native shrubs that really thrive in more damp conditions. That's why she is so happy here, because remember I was talking about how the water flows through here. It does. So this gets good water and it's putting on these really fun little blooms, and then they will turn, you can see they're starting to turn brown, and then once the white comes off, they will later turn into like these red little balls. Super cute. Of course, the forest pansy bed, this tends to be, this is one of my 2 shade gardens here directly at the house. It's interesting because this area gets hot afternoon sun, and then more where Jerry is starting to walk, that is going to be morning sun, but afternoon shade. So I have a lot of fun in here putting really just whatever I want, right? So we've got massive hostas, we've got ferns, we've got astilbes, I've got this is the tiny quickfire, really nice and tight. So you've got little quickfire, then we've got tiny quickfire. Again, still that lace cap lace cap panicle hydrangea. You can see how open it area is, but it'll stay really, really short. Hence why I have it on the front of the border. There's 3 of them in here. I've got the balloon flowers, eucharis, ascot rainbows. Last year I brought in, this is Wee Bit Innocent, and Wee Bit Innocent is a reblooming macrophylla hydrangea. It is called Wee Bit Innocent because the blooms are going to be really pale. It is pH dependent, so it could be pink or blue depending on what your soil's pH is, but it's going to be a very light, soft color, not intense at all. And then of course we had that great collection of those little pots right behind it. Lots of fun. My mama Mimi came and helped me figure those out. We have them raised up on stones, so that way, because these are really petite little pots, so Mimi is the queen of that. So raise them up, put them on stumps, put them on, you know, whatever it is that you have. These are actually some leftover landscape blocks from the patio project that we did when we built it. So There you go on that. And then I have to show you this little container right here. This is truly a container that I did just because I wanted to. Wasn't sure that the colors were going to match, but I absolutely love it. This is the chocolate orange Selenia begonia. There's 3 of them in here. They are annuals, but the color on this begonia is unbelievable. That rich chocolate foliage with that really intense, bright, orangey red bloom. And then this is Southern Comfort, Euchera. Has been in this pot for a couple of years. I've actually had to divide it out because it's been so prolific. When I say I wasn't sure if these colors were gonna go, I really didn't. But I was like, you know what? This is about my only opportunity right here to put that chocolate orange. So I did it, and I love it, and it has done great. This gets good, I would say 5 to 6 hours of morning sun, and then it's in the shade. All right, while we're here, we're gonna pop over to the Emperor One bed. So the Emperor One bed, again, gets its name. I'm very original with how I name my beds. It's because we have an Emperor One Japanese maple in here. She actually has been in here for like right at a year because I had a oak leaf hydrangea this time last year that decided to up and die. Had been there for several years, so we replaced it with the Emperor One, and I really enjoy that because aesthetically speaking, you've got the forest pansy that's been here for 15, 16 years. Then you've got the Emperor One here, so that brings another one. And then down by the fountain, we have yet another Japanese maple, and I always get this wrong. It's the, I always want to say flamethrower, but that's the red bud. It's, give me a minute and it'll come to me. But it is a full sun, both the Emperor One and the, the mystery Japanese maple down there, full sun. Like when I say full sun, I mean like all intense sun. So I love how those 3 colors kind of tie into one another. And then this one, it's just, she's having fun. We're doing great. You know, we were showing you that Mimi and I added some caladiums in here to add pops of color. So we've got that going on. The hydrangeas here, these are pufferfish. So we added the pufferfish. Jerry and I added these in the fall, winter, I don't remember exactly when it was. So I have not been in the garden a year. So again, having these, we've got a total of 5 pufferfish in here. You can see that they're starting to crack with their blooms. Certainly not going to be in full bloom probably for another 2 weeks on this spot. So you've got pufferfish here, and then you've got pufferfish down by the fountain. So again, that kind of ties it in together. Of course, I am a huge fan of grasses, whether they are perennial or annual. So we've got 2 Apache roses in here, and then my Boom Chocolata has finished blooming, so we're good on that. But the phlox has started blooming, and then we have got the Serendipity allium that is blooming as well. So this is the opalescence. Luminary opalescence phlox has a delicious fragrance to it, and it is just fantastic. But I love that this shot, I'm gonna let Jerry maybe back up a little bit. So kind of in this shot, you can see, so you've got the pufferfish here, you've got the quick fire fabs, you can see the Incrediballs, we're gonna go there in a minute. So this is just a really nice shot, little quick fire. I mean, everything is absolutely just thriving. And we've got the mangaves out here. I potted these up last year. These are huge popular plants. They've been hanging out at the garden center since the fall. And so we have got them here. We have got Bad Hair Day. This is an incredibly popular mangave, and we couldn't keep it in stock. We're hoping to get some more as soon as we possibly can. But you've got Bad Hair Day right here, so that's a lot of fun. And then Lavender Lady. Lavender Lady will have kind of that bluish purple hue to her. They've been in these pots. They probably need to come out of the pots, but they have been doing really well. I think it's Catch a Wave, and then I forget what the dark one is. But just having those pots right there together with your At Last rose, right? You can mix those mangaves and roses, or however it is that you want to mix them. And then a quick little update on the hay rack. Just planted this, and so we've got 2 of the Heart to Heart Scarlet Flame caladiums, the same one that I have in the Emperor One bed, with the Mahogany Sweet Potato Vine. Keeping it simple, sweetie, right? You don't always have to go with these huge, massive containers. You can keep it really simple, and it still makes a huge display. We've covered the left side of the pathway. Now to the right. So excited that the Chuck Hayes gardenias are in full bloom. They have been blooming for a couple of weeks now. I'm trying to go through and kind of like deadhead them, but they smell amazing. We have got 4 of the gardenias here, Love and Life, and then the 9 bark. So we get a lot of questions about this 9 bark. She's never been pruned. She has quite the story. Mimi gave this to me years ago, and so she is filling out. This is an amberjack. I'm pretty sure it's amberjack. If I misnamed that, then I will correct it. But it is more of a, in the spring, it really is like an orange. She's starting to turn to her green, but full sun and doing really well. And then of course we did mass plantings of the Mini Vista White petunia. So we have Super Petunia Mini Vista White all throughout the backyard here at the patio because it's very cooling. I promise this is Mini Vista White. This is not Snowdrift. Snowdrift would have those bigger flowers, but my gosh, she is loving life right here and doing really, really well. And you can see as we come through here, the rest of those mini vistas are all along the edge of the patio, those walls, and so doing really well. The white chiffon Rose of Sharon, she too has begun blooming. We have got this sweet little bumblebee in there just having the best time of her life. And so Roses of Sharon will bloom on new growth, so she got a really strong pruning this late winter, doing great. She has just begun, and so she will continue to flush out. One thing we have to do before the signature experience is to come through here because, as you can see right here, the petunias are super vigorous. There's a single line. I didn't do a double line. There's a single line coming down through here. They're spilling over great, but they're also starting to go into the shrubs. This is the Elizabeth Rose from David Austin. So what we need to do is come in here and gently prune these, and so that way my petunias are not taking over my roses, my boxwoods, those kinds of things. So we've got to come in here and do that, but otherwise all of that is doing well. We're gonna head up to the deck boxes in just a second, but before we go, I want to show you this side of the Incredible hedge and then give you an update on the urns here on the each end of the seating wall. So we have these urns on both sides of the seating wall. They are on drip irrigation, and I will say everything that we've talked about so far is on drip irrigation. I like to tell you what is and what is not on irrigation, but honestly, y'all, we have gotten so much rain that we have turned the irrigation off. I think I ran it for maybe like 1 week, several weeks ago, and that is it. But here again, we kept it very, very simple. I repeated that unplugged So Blue that was in the pathway bed. So we've got unplugged So Blue and then the Diamond Snow Euphorbia. I've got Diamond Snow further down in the backyard beds. I love the Euphorbias. They are fantastic. Keeping it simple. This is beautiful. So there's 2 salvias in here. I jam-packed them in there. And then there's 4 of the Diamond Snows right there. And so I love how they look. And then of course the Incredibles. So Incredible Hydrangea, we have had these in the ground. We had a mishap, and so we planted 1 set. They died after 2 years. I think it was something that we did, and then we replanted them, and so there's a total of 5 in here, and they are spectacular. Now, right now, they are a little bit, if you want to call them floppy, that's fine. But when I tell you, when we were at the beach, we came home and we had 7 inches of rain in the rain gauge. And it has rained and rained and rained, and we've had massive storms, tons of wind. So when you have hydrangeas that the blooms are bigger than my head and they're just a little bit bent over, that's okay. These things are ginormous in here, and so yes, they've been pushed down a little bit, but given their the weather conditions that they have had to go through, they are doing really well, and I'm very proud of these sweet little things. Of course, the Incredible is that Annabelle type hydrangea, and it blooms on new growth. Yes, these are in full sun, sun up to sun down, on drip irrigation, but again, have not had to run it, and they are doing really well. Prune them back every year. They bloom on new growth. We love that, and so I'm proud of these little guys, even though they have been through quite a bit of rain, because like, look at this. Like, look at that massive bloom. Is it not just like it's the size of my head? Look at that, huge. So Incredibles really are incredible because they are massive, they're beautiful, and they really do hold up. Even to the heat and humidity in North Carolina and the full sun, they can handle it. If you do not have them on drip irrigation, then I would say give them a break in the afternoon. This little area we're developing it's coming along. Love that Desdemona. So I have 2 Desdemonas, just so you know. So this is what I call Big Desdy, and then we have Baby Desdy over here. Baby Desdy got planted in the spring as a bare root. She's coming along. I'm thinking long term here, people. This Desdemona has been here from the very beginning, so she's going into her 4th or 5th year. She is blooming and smells divine. Love this rose so much. It is gorgeous. And then when you pair it, of course, with that blue chiffon Rose of Sharon that is next door, love it. So we have the blue chiffon, we have the white chiffon. This, of course, is more in that standard form. We bought it that way, and yeah, just a gorgeous double bloom on it. Lovely and just fantastic. All right, we're gonna head up here to the deck boxes. My hanging baskets, again, kept it super simple. We have the heart-to-heart caladiums in there. I want to say that's White Wonder with some diamond frost euphorbia, and then of course the Dichondra Silver Falls. This very happy container. This is not on drip irrigation. If it was, I think they would be bigger. This is called They Get Watered When Jenny Remembers to Water Them. Just keeping it full and honest disclosure here. So we have both of those on the backyard. And then the deck boxes. The deck boxes have filled in beautifully that I knew that they would. If you will remember when I planted them, there were, like, especially the Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Vein, it looked awful. It was terrible. It was thin, it was leggy. I actually whacked it back, and look at it. I knew that this was gonna happen. They are tough plants. So if you get petunias, or you go to your local garden center and you've got some annuals that desperately need to get out of that pot, y'all don't freak out because it's not magazine worthy, it's not perfect. They can handle it. Get it out of the pot, give it some food, give it some water. If you need to deadhead it, bring it back, not even deadhead it, but prune it, do that, they will explode. So in here we have the Mini Vista White, you know, it mirrors down there on the patio. Mini Vista Plum Veined is which I have in the backyard. We're going to see in a minute. The Unplugged So White Salvia, that's down there as well, so we're repeating that. We have the Pinkerific Dahlias. Like, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is a good bloom, right? Beautiful fresh bloom. Then this right here, we need to come in here and deadhead this. This is what you want to get rid of, okay? That is going to encourage that new growth. Of course, the Diamond Frost. Asparagus fern. This is going to be, she's getting taken over. It's supposed to be like 3 feet tall. We'll see about that. The new sweet potato vine from Proven Winners. This will be out next year. And so it's that beautiful variegated foliage on it. So we have got those. We've actually got down there in front of Jerry on the other side, the new Vista petunia. Probably can see it better from down on the ground, but this is the Cool Jazz. So we've got that in there, and then I just repeat it. So it's all those same plants, and we just repeat it through here. Again, this is on drip irrigation. This does run every day. It is on because it also goes with our hanging baskets on the front porch. So I think it runs for about like 15 minutes a day. I've water soluble fertilized this twice, I think. And so everybody is lush, filling in, and is doing absolutely gorgeous. Love these containers every year that we do them. Try to do them up a little bit different, but they are definitely thriving this year. Okay, the backyard beds, the official backyard area. So you can kind of see the difference how those Incrediballs look from this side. This is their better side probably, right? Because they are coming this way. We've got the double play doozies. Again, that Mini Vista white is all throughout here on this side. I really wanted to kind of keep this petunia within the patio area, bringing all that consistency within that one space. That is one thing that I have developed and grown as a gardener as far as the design, because my natural tendency is I love all the plants. So I just want to have all the plants. And so I would stick things in here. But then when you look at the garden as a whole, like it didn't flow really well. So I'm getting better. I'm not there yet, but I am definitely getting better as trying to, repeat plants throughout the space in the garden, and within a certain area, really kind of concentrate on those colors. So when we have the drone tour at the end of this video, this will really pop out because you're going to see that Mini Vista white really pop out here at the patio. But speaking of repeating, so here we have the double play doozy spireas. They have been here for several years. Gorgeous. Want to show you them right quick. This is their second flush of flowers for the season. Their spring is I would say definitely like their biggest bloom time. But I'm gonna let Jerry show you just those gorgeous raspberry flowers. Double play doozy is definitely a sterile variety, so it continues to bloom. That new growth, of course, has that fun, like that really rich color to it against the green. It is gorgeous. So I love that color combo with the spireas, the Incrediballs right there, and then bringing in that bright white of the Mini Vista white. So we have the spireas here, but we also have them in this bed. We have the cherry tree right here, gorgeous spring blooms. This is the Okami, the earliest bloomer, stunning. She is growing and just loving life. But then underneath it, of course, we have those 3 double play doozy spireas. We have them here, we have them there. Consistency flowing. And then this year what I did is I decided we reworked this bed. You can go back and watch that video, but as far as my annuals, I stuck with that Unplugged So White and then the Super Tunia Mini Vista Plum Veined. Mini Vista Plum Veined is new this year. It is a new introduction. We got to trial it last year. I fell in love with it because it has just prolific blooms, really tight habit. It doesn't get leggy. It is a great, great petunia. It's probably next to Mini Vista White. This would be my next favorite one. And so doing that in mass. And so we have got a huge ribbon coming through here. Have the Unplugged So White on each ends, because here in the middle, we did, I moved my David Austins. And so these are the Poet's Wife, nice soft yellow blooms on the Poet's Wife, and then I did the Meteor Shower Verbena. So this gives me some whimsy. It gives me a nice transition from low to a little bit higher. The Poet's Wife will get bigger. She got transplanted, so she's a little shorter this year, but that Meteor Shower is really fun. Purple, light, airy, completely different habit and structure to it. Love this plant, and it can be a perennial for me. I'm going to try to just overwinter it, and it should come back. Sweet little ginkgo. So this is the maidenhair. It's more of a shrub than a tree. It is a male variety because it does not stink. So the female ginkgos will be nice and stinky. This is not, but it is more of a shrub. It is not going to get tall like a tree, but it still has those gorgeous yellow leaves in the fall. Stunning plant. So just kind of working our way down here. Could not be more happy, y'all, with how the salvias and the petunias are doing. Just magnificent. And then we have a Hinoki slender tree. So Hinoki slender is what I would call a Dr. Seuss tree. It is a great evergreen. My plan was not to put the annuals too close to the Hinoki so that it would have plenty of room to grow. But these salvias are so much more prolific than what anticipated, but we still have plenty of room. She's got lots of room down here, so she's got beautiful branches that kind of swing out really nice and low. It is a great tree. We did not stake her. She's getting funky. I love it. It gives me great year-round interest. Japanese beetles don't like it. Bugs don't like it. I mean, really, really a great, great tree for sure. And then of course we brought that kind of that same theme over here with the petunias and the salvias. Y'all, do you see? This is my first time being like in this spot right here. Do you see what these petunias are doing? But they're growing, and they love the salvias so much, so they can't really go under the salvias, so they're going up the salvias. So we have got plum veined all throughout the top up here, which looks really cool, but they're doing great. And then the Pugster amethyst, butterfly bush, this loves its spot right here, so very, very happy. We do have the Princeton Century ginkgo. It is a male because people still ask about that, so that is a male. And then we have the Harry Lauder walking stick right here. I love Harry Lauder. In the summertime, this time of year, it's not, other than it's like a nice little green shrub, right? The bad thing is Japanese beetles do like it, and so this has not been treated, so they will come through and just kind of skeletonize the leaves on this. But what you do a Harry Lauder walking stick for is it is contorted. So when it loses its leaves in the winter, you have got the coolest shrub of all this contortment, shall we say, really twisty, turny, I mean, just does crazy stuff. It is a very happy shrub here because it has gotten huge in the last couple of years that it has been here. So that is doing well. And then we have here in this unique stone urn, this is one of the new Hollywood hibiscus from Proven Winners. This is a tropical hibiscus, so it is not going to survive the winter. The plan was just to have this in here because it can get quite large, but it wasn't growing fast enough for me, and we do have the signature experience. So came through and put some of the diamond frost euphorbia underneath here. Really kind of beefed up the container, really beautiful interest in this, and so gorgeous. These blooms will last about 2 to 3 days, whereas your traditional tropical hibiscus will last for 1 day. So doing well. Just as a quick, I'll let Jerry kind of stay there, but again, if you're a faithful follower, you know that we moved the 3 lilac crush hibiscus. They were actually behind where the what is that called? The amberjack nine bark was, and so they are clearly doing really, really well. I don't know if we're going to get blooms before Friday. I really hope. They're covered in buds, but clearly they transitioned really, really well. We have, of course, the magnolia here, and then Fairy Trail Bride. Bless her heart, she's been here for again, 3-4 years since we did this. Full sun. This is the first year that she has done really well. And what's cool about Fairy Trail is that you can see is that she's turning kind of pink. So, and she's actually putting on some new blooms, and this is that cascading hydrangea, but she's getting some shades of pink. So love that. So she gets to stay here for another year because she's doing really well this year. Lots of daylilies in these beds. I have no clue as to what variety this is. All I know is, I'm gonna let Jerry get in there close. Oh my gosh, the sun. To show you how beautiful those blooms are. These are, I just call them Miss Wanda's. So these came from our sweet friends, Jim and Wanda Willis. And this is one of Miss Wanda's daylilies. She is stunning and beautiful. So there you go on that. And then quick little update here on the hydrangeas. Planted this season. This is the Let's Dance series. This is Skyview, and Skyview really should be a blue. I think as the years come along, it may turn into blue. Clearly they are very pink right now. Honestly, I don't care. They're blooming. I don't care what the color is. They're happy. And then of course we've got the euphorbia through here. This is diamond snow. And so your diamond snow, really all your euphorbias can do are very versatile on their sun conditions. So this is doing really well. It is on drip. It is underneath this maple tree, but they are doing quite happy right here. All right, on to the next garden. The gardens here at the garden shed, my gosh, they are doing fantastic. This is one that we really installed like last year. So the irises, the butterfly bushes have been here for a year. Look at this. Is this not absolutely a stunning butterfly bush? This comes from our friends at Walter's Gardens. This is that Monarch series, I believe, of the butterfly bushes. We will tag it in the products in the video description, but really is just now coming into her own. You can see that she still has tons of buds yet to open, but huge blooms on this. This garden has absolutely thrived, and I really think it's because we really heavily amended this soil because we had to build it up, and so we brought in a really rich organic soil. The eyeliner irises, my gosh, they are done blooming, but that's okay because when they were in bloom, they were stunning, and now we've got this great foliage, almost like a grass right here. So we've got those. And then, of course, repeating those salvias, right? So we've got those beautiful blue salvias in here, the Carolee Petite Pink Guara, and then the Mango Portulaca. Portulaca is not in her glory right now because Portulaca is open and closed with the sun, and we're still in the shade. So they have not opened. They will open once the sun hits them. But having that nice orange border, and yes, I was going for color here. I put orange and pinks and blues, more pinks all together because let me tell you, the pollinators love this bed. And then we've got, oh goodness, we've got the little Poly Petite Rose of Sharon. Again, got a Japanese beetle. I'm telling you, if you don't have Japanese beetles in your area, consider yourself blessed. They don't kill the plants, they will just eat them and make them look ugly. But the Poly Petite is going to be a really nice, short little Rose of Sharon. Beautiful color on it, love that. And then in the back, we have got the, I believe it's called dark lavender, but this again is another one of those chiffon series. So it's got that double bloom on it, nice, deeper, rich purple to it. So you've got these shades of light pinks, light purples, dark purples, blues, all of it together. And then the climbing sweet potato vine, again, some little beetle is having a field day with this. That's okay, y'all. Messes and successes. Again, when our folks come, they're going to see real life gardening. If I wanted to keep everything perfect, then I would be spraying like crazy, but then I could lose some of my pollinators. So yeah, they're a little holy, they'll be fine. And then we've got more orange right here with the Vermillionaire. Vermillionaire, of course, is that great Kufia that your hummingbirds love, all your pollinators love it. And you'll see between the Vermillionaire some little stalks. Those were my daffodils. So my bulbs are still in the ground, but this is that succession planting. When I planted the Vermillionaire, I had tons of beautiful foliage on my daffodils. I had to wait till they died back, and then now here comes the Vermillionaire, beautiful and just growing. And then I'm gonna let Jerry swing around to show you, because this is kind of right now is a little bit tucked back in here, a little bit hidden with the spider webs, but we've got Cleome. So we have Senorita Rosalita, the pink one, and then we have Blanca, the white one. And I alternated them back and forth. So we're going to have, they're gonna get nice and big. You can see the ones in the back are a little bit smaller, and I really think that's because of the sun. But that's all right. We got these beautiful sweet, butterfly bushes right here. They will catch up. Yeah, there's a Morning Glory vine in here that was having a great time. Again, it's so funny because depending on where you are and your climate, I know some people like intentionally will plant Morning Glories. For us here in the South, they are the biggest nuisance weed ever. And so again, so if you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, that could never work in my garden, you're crazy for doing that in your garden. Well, I'm in North Carolina, zone 8A. So maybe what is growing, blooming, thriving in my garden is not the best fit for your garden, and vice versa. That's what makes gardening so much fun, is because we're all so different. Absolutely love it. All right, next garden. Here along our driveway, right on the edge of our garage, I've got two unique stone urns on a pedestal. This year I did the Selenia apricot begonias in here. There's 3 in here, not on irrigation. I have to hand water them, and they are doing spectacular. I mean, I love the color on these guys, that double bloom. This gets is in the sun till about lunchtime, and then it is in the shade. They do really well here. They're not burning. Great. They are more drought tolerant because, again, I'm not watering them every single day. It's called As Jenny Remembers, and I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to water those. Of course, the more consistent you can be, the better they are. But these are beautiful, very low maintenance, and you see no Japanese beetles on these, so yay for that. Coming around, I want to just give you a little show you this guy. So this is Paisley Pup. This is a dog hobble, another native shrub, an evergreen shrub that is more for the shade. I plopped it in this container, gosh, I don't know, into the summer last year, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it here for the winter time. Let's see how she does. Well, she is loving life. So we are leaving her here. Tons of new growth in here. I've had a couple of birds put some nest in here, raise some babies. They have flown, but doing really well. Again, half day morning sun, and then it's in the shade in the afternoon and doing well. And then I'm gonna let Jerry figure out the best sun option for this because the sun is starting to come around right here. But I wanted to give you an update on this wall hanger because this is one of my favorite ones. Has done so well. You were with me when we planted it. Again, we've got that new variegated sweet potato vine that will be out in 2026 from Proven Winners. So we have that. We have as the centerpiece, we have just a great classic pink dragon wing begonia, angel wing, dragon wing, whatever you want to call it. And then on each side we have got, this is the blush rose, double delight blush rose begonia. So it is more of a kind of a cascading begonia, that gorgeous double bloom, and then diamond frost on each side. This is, again, not on irrigation, so I have to hand water it, and even when it rains it doesn't hit it because of the roof line, and so I have to hand water this. Definitely mostly shade, but because of the way the roof line is, it will get like 2 hours of intense hot afternoon sun, but as long as I keep it watered, it does really well. So repeating these flowers over to the hay rack that is by the window. So again, kind of trying to repeat those flowers in the space. So we still have that double delight blush rose begonia with the diamond frost euphorbia. Have to hand water that as well. In fact, nothing in this flower bed is on drip irrigation. So we have no irrigation right here, but with all the rain we've gotten, that has not been an issue. And then zebra hydrangea is doing really well. That is a macrophylla hydrangea. We call it zebra because it has black stems and then those white flowers. You can see that this is a shade bed, but shade means 4 hours or less. So the sun is cranking right now. It's 8:15 in the morning. So this is going to get that 4 to 5 hours of morning sun. And then when the sun moves, then the house gives it shade. But the hostas are doing well. The brunnera is doing well. The Aurelia Sun King, it got pruned, and so it's got some burns. So if you see the brown on that, that was because it was pruned, and then the foliage that was protected got exposed, and so it was burning. So a little unfortunate that it's not in its prime right now, but she is still looking great. Love that brunnera, and then of course we've got eucharis in here. A little bit of some annuals. I don't have a ton of space for annuals, but we've got the Rocapuco Impatiens, of course my Broalia, love Broalia, and then the ferns with all the rain. This is ghost fern, so I've got actually 3 in here. My gosh, they are loving life. They are every bit of that 2.5 feet tall. And then here, this is the crested surf, so it's in a little bit of a blue pot right there hanging out. I needed to fill in, so let's bring that diamond frost back, repeating all of that. And then this is White Wedding Panicle Hydrangea. This is from Southern Living. White Wedding, the reason that I put her here is because, one, her size, so she's gonna be in that shorter 3-foot size, but Southern Living says that this is the most shade tolerant panicle hydrangea. So that's why I wanted to put it here. I had tried macrophyllas, even reblooming macrophyllas, and they just didn't do well because of the exposure, and they would get those really cold winds late, early spring, and so that would kill a lot of the buds. Panicles, again, bloom on that new growth, but I needed a shade tolerant one. Clearly, she's happy. She's getting ready to really come out in all of her blooms. So that White Wedding is a gorgeous one for sure. And then of course, the new renovated terrace gardens. This whole area is new this year as far as like all of the hardscape. We did this at the end of the summer last year, and this bed has done really well. So we kept it super simple, but in mass, right? So we did the double up pink begonia. So this is the rose begonia. We have got diamond frost euphorbia, and then the sun patience back here. So keeping it really simple, but doing it in mass as it goes down is absolutely beautiful. You'll see some variations in size, but overall she's doing great. Love this bed. This is a long, skinny bed, and I don't know about you, but one of the first things that catches my eyes are those Indian summer rudbeckias down here. Oh my goodness, y'all. So we kept all of this the same, right? So this is that long, skinny bed, and then we kind of come up here to what I call like the cottage garden extension, because this bed is, I don't know, it's less than a year old. So this is unbelievable. Y'all, this is Indian summer rudbeckia. Dear heavens, this is an All-American Selection winner. Look at the blooms on this. When I planted these in the fall, they were a 1 gallon. They maybe were like 12 inches tall as far as the plant, but this thing is phenomenal, and it has been blooming for 3-4 weeks now, and just loving it. I only had 3 available. If I could have put 20 in here, I would have put 20 in here, knowing what they are doing, but they are just gorgeous. So we have those 3 in here. Make great cut flowers, and so we've got those, and just a whole smattering of these beautiful perennials and annuals, really trying to attract the pollinators, the butterflies here. So we've got like the butterfly weed, we have got all the plants that will attract those butterflies to the garden. If we have some monarchs, we have got the food available for them, and just having lots of fun in here, but also having some evergreen interest, right? So we have got tons of gorgeous color during the summer, which is what we want, but also we've got the evergreen interest, like the Fire Chief arborvitaes. So we've got those through here. We have the Helen von Stein, that massive lamb's ear that, my gosh, they love this flower bed. We've got butterfly bushes. We have throughout here, we actually have some hydrangeas. We've got the Firelight Tidbit. They are a panicle. They are cracking. They've got buds that they are not showing color yet. And so native plants like this beautiful Amsonia, she was pruned down. You saw me prune her, and she has gotten nice and thick and compact. So she's really thick and compact, but she's not tall and floppy. I've got some others that I didn't prune, and they are floppy. So when we get that wind and that rain, they'll kind of lay down. That's why I love pruning my Amsonia after it blooms. It's not going to rebloom, but it just keeps it nice and tight. The Shalom Peony Display Daylily is blooming. Just an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful bloom on this. It's no longer in, quote, production from proven winners, and so I feel very fortunate to have them. They are a very slow grower. I think that's probably one of the reasons why they really didn't maybe carry it so much anymore, but we've got them throughout here on the front. And then this is a nice, this is that mini Vista, excuse me, this is the Vista, Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz, and so there you go on that. But the whole beds, they are doing great. But again, all of these beds right here were here, but we did pull the plants out. There was just maybe 1 or 2 that we left in here, but we pulled them out last into the summer and replanted it because it was such a construction zone, and I needed to kind of refresh this because I had plants in here that had gotten massive, and so we just kind of redesigned this whole bed. Of course, put the steps in. We did the whole terrace garden up here. We put the installed. These are the tall modern garden boxes from Vago. We have got 5 of them in here. Recently planted them. They've been planted less than a month. I planted them for impact right away because I knew that the signature experience was coming, and they have not disappointed, and they are doing really well. So here we have, these were hanging baskets of that Super Tunia Mini Vista White. So I had those on the 4 corners, and then again repeating the unplugged So White Salvia. It is here, and then this is the Rise Up Amberness Rose. So it's time for me to come through here. I need to deadhead her to encourage those more blooms, but a beautiful amber rose that is that semi-climber. This comes from H. Potter, because I know y'all are going to ask. So H. Potter has great garden accessories. You can get those online. So love this, beautiful. But my gosh, the garden boxes, again, planted it for instant impact, massive color, and to attract the pollinators. We have a whole video where we did that. You can go back and check that out, but they are doing phenomenal. I mean, just beautiful. So all 4 are planted the exact same on the outside. That way it brings that cohesiveness to the space, because if I had done this in one box and this box completely different, then it would look too busy and it wouldn't flow together. So having this is great. And also what's having great is this breeze. Oh my gosh, if we can have this on Friday with the signature experience, man, we will be some happy people. Okay, so back here, this is what we call Hydrangea Hill. Hydrangea Hill, these are firelight hydrangeas that are in the back. They have been here for 5, 6, 7 years, for quite a long time. These are nice, big, beautiful panicle hydrangeas. As you can see, they are just becoming into their own and beautiful. Everything below that is new because, of course, we had the wall, right? We installed the wall, so that was new. So this was all under construction in the end of the summer. Y'all, I'm telling you, one of the best hacks for your garden, if you want instant impact, grab some hanging baskets. Take the plants out of the hanging baskets, especially if they're Super Tunias. Take them out and plant them. This was a hanging basket, and these were hanging baskets. This, of course, is the ever-beloved Super Tunia Vista Bubblegum, and so we had hanging baskets, planted them in here. We did, when we were at the beach, Mimi did come through and trim them a little bit. We have water-soluble fertilized them a couple of times. Nice and thick, y'all. Look at that. Look how nice and tight they are. There's not a hole. When I planted them, they were a little holy in the middle. They are no longer holy in the middle, and just beautiful, gorgeous. So we've got that. Montana moss. In fact, I might need to take bubblegum and trim her back a little bit after the signature experience to let my Montana moss grow. Started these as quartz last year. Beautiful evergreen. We have got more of the firelight tidbit hydrangeas. So we have tidbit up here, tidbit down in the cottage garden. We've got lots of like the guara, the Carolee Petite Pink. Beautiful. We sell it as an annual, but it will technically be a perennial for us. The butterfly bush, of course, I've got that Pugster Amethyst. Had that also down in the cottage garden, so bringing that up, repeating it. The Jubilation gardenias from Southern Living, they are in here. And then down here, super excited. I think I see some buds. They're still a little small, but this is the, of course, that Summerific Edge of Night perennial hibiscus. And when I was planting the guaras in here and the other plants in here, I knew I had 3 hibiscus. Clearly, I forgot that I had this 4th one right here, because I don't know if Jerry can show you how close that guara is, right there at that Summerific. So clearly, the other ones I knew that they were there, but I forgot I had the 4th one. So I'm glad that I drilled it there and not like on top of it. So obviously, I need to move that. And then I'm going to show you up here, this massive pot that we, again, repeated. This has got the Goshiki osmanthus in here. It is a beautiful, really kind of a tricolor evergreen. And then we've got the Selenia apricot, which we had down at the house. And then the large amethyst terminia, really filled in quite nicely. This does have drip irrigation in it, but we've not turned it on. So this is all due to rain. I think I watered it when we first planted it, but other than that, this is called the good Lord, and the rain has provided for us. Also, fig tree. So you cannot be in this space and not miss this fig tree. This fig tree came from my parents they started it, which came from my grandmother. So this is Grandmama Betty's fig tree. She is just now putting on beautiful fruit. So we've got these great figs. Our Emily is probably the one who loves the figs the most, next to the raccoons. So the raccoons have not yet found that they are in fruit yet in season, because they will come and you will see their little muddy footprints all through here, and they love to eat these figs. They are delicious. Part of the terrace garden renovation was installing steps up to the chicken coop, because this was my natural path to go to the chicken coop, but we didn't have steps, and so we needed some steps here. This has turned out to be one of our favorite spots in the garden, and one of your favorites, because y'all tell me all the time how much you love this area. So we have just these massive, these were actually like cultured, these are not natural stones, they were made as stepping stones, but they look natural, so there you go. Jammed them in here, and then of course planting tons of ground covers to kind of fill in. Creeping Jenny is loving life. She is doing her job. We actually have not even put mulch in here because these plants have just taken off. We have the ice plant, the Delosperma from Proven Winners. They are here on the ground on each side. I do think they're not getting quite enough sun because of the oak tree that is above us, so they're not blooming as prolific as I think they should. But you know what? When we were coming out of winter and going into spring before the tree had flushed out, my gosh, they were stunning. So unless we take this big limb out, it is what it is, and so we're gonna deal with that for right now. It's one of those success/mess kind of in between, depends on when you want to look at it. And so there you go. So coming on up, we have and yeah, another keeping it real with you folks, this lovely right here is a weed. It is a nasty thorny just briars, and so I've got to come in here and cut it and paint it. So before Friday I'm going to do this, but just to keep it real, not everything's perfect. All the gardens do have weeds, and so that's one area that we definitely need to fix on that. And then as we come up, this woodland garden is under construction. She has been through it the last year between the massive storm that we had in May with the tornadoes, lost trees. Hurricane Helene came in September, lost trees on that. So this summer, my goal is to keep the native plants out of here, like the little trees that are trying to resprout, the grapevine, the honeysuckle, the briars. Keep that out of here, so this fall I can really come in and heavily plant my hostas, my ferns, my other hydrangeas. So this is an area that is a work in progress. But beautiful. We've got, these are of course those red Selenia begonias. I mean, just fantastic. Love that. But even within this space of kind of the mess, the construction, we have hydrangeas that have been in here for a year, and yes, they're small because none of this is on irrigation up here, and you know, they're doing well, right? So you've got the Tough Stuff Top Fun, which is a lace cap, and you'll see that all of these hydrangeas that have been in the ground for over a year are a nice blue purple. So you've got Top Fun. Then next door we have got, this is Big Band. So this one's probably struggled the most, but my gosh, she's doing well. So, I mean, she's tiny, but she's doing well. And then back in the back we have Skyview. So that nice, really sweet blue. And then one more, we've got Tough Stuff. So we've got a Tough Stuff in the ground over here that is a nice rich blue, another great lace cap. So there you go on that. And then it's so funny. So you've got Tough Stuff right here that is blue. And then what's in the pot over here, that too is Tough Stuff. But because it's in a pot, soil, whatever, the pH is different. So it's pink. So there you go on that. Coming through the front of the chicken coop, This is where I really focus on putting annuals in here, and so this has done so well, is doing really well. We've got the new Medusa, the black Medusa sweet potato vine, the scarlet mini vistas, the white mini vista grasses. This is Skyrocket. By the end of the season, this will be huge. You've got, of course, the yellow lantana. Then this is a Cleome, and this is a Cleome. Senorita Blanca, I'm telling you, if you're not growing the Senoritas, yes, the Senorita Rosalita, which is the pink, Senorita Blanca, which is the white. If you don't have those in your garden, you need to. They are great annuals. Sterile, they don't stink, love them, no thorns. And then the Hollywood hibiscus is getting ready to open up for today. But yeah, so this is doing really well through here. I like putting the annuals in here because I can swap it out. I like doing the different colors every year. And the girls get more shade in the afternoon. Now they are very shaded. They're always in the shade, so don't think they're frying. But it is nice to give them a little bit of a screen in the summer. So when that afternoon sun is hitting, it gives them more shade. On this side, doing really well. Look, I'm so excited to get Jerry to come maybe on the other side here. We have got watermelon ruffles. This is a perennial hibiscus from our friends at Walter's Garden. Because it gets more sun on this way, the flowers tend to be kind of facing forward, which is fine. But look at that beautiful ruffled, the petals overlap with one another. I mean, just beautiful, gorgeous. So she will continue blooming throughout the season. The hibiscus and the holly trees are on irrigation. So the irrigation starts at the holly trees, hibiscus, and then goes down. So once we turn on the irrigation, she will get water in the heat of the summer. So that will give her blooms throughout the entire season. But beautiful. And then you can see up close right here, we're on the back side of the firelights. So you can kind of see how they look here as well. So you've got those firelights, beautiful hedge. And then right at Jerry's feet is the new treasure trove. Let's see. He'll back up a little bit. It's a little tight in here. This is the new Rudbeckia from Proven Winners. This is Treasure Trove. Not blooming yet, but it has got buds all over it. We got a little bit of yellow, so I might have some flowers by Friday, but this is just going to be really fun to see. Brand new introduction from Proven Winners in their perennial line. And yeah, so you can just kind of get an idea of how everything is looking up here. El Nino growing, doing great. She had a ton of blooms on her. I think in the rain, some of them got knocked down. The echinaceas are blooming. We've got the butterfly bush, the pugster, again, pinker, love those plants. But just having lots of fun again with lots of bold color, with the echinaceas, with the agastaches, all sorts of things coming through here, and then transitioning over here. So it's just color, color, color is the name of the game up here. This is where I can just go bold and have beautiful bright yellows and blues. I'm going to have pink of hibiscus, red, purples, oranges, you name it. I want color up here because this is kind of my wild, hot, fun side. It is in the shade right now, but it will definitely be a full sun garden. Once the sun comes over those trees, starting probably around 10 till sundown, it is in the full sun. But everybody is just doing fabulous here. We, of course, were here just the other day trying to fix the water. It is doing well. And then this woodland garden is really fun to do. It's kind of an island bed because on each ends, these are definitely shade gardens. So you've got Let's Dance Ariba hydrangea, loving life, doing really well. They were planted in early spring and just thriving. So we've got Ariba right there, and then here in the center is going to be a full sun garden. So you've got some of the smaller panicle hydrangeas. I think that's Little Lime Punch. I can't quite remember, I'm sorry. And then here in the center we have got the good old traditional limelight. It might be pufferfish because it's a little bit more open and airy. So maybe those are pufferfishes because, like Jerry said, the blooms are more airy than tight. But yeah, just having fun. The daylilies, of course, are in bloom. Beautiful, gorgeous purples in here. And then we transition back over here to more of the shade. And so with the Crimson Queen hydrangea, we've got her, hostas, carexes, all sorts of things in here. And a lot of these plants that are in the ground are new this year. And then in the back, we have got the Greensboro red camellias. So those will give me beautiful blooms. Those are japonicas. So I will have blooms in the late winter. So everything up here is doing fabulous. Here at the front porch, we kind of keep it simple here, y'all. We have got boxwoods that have been here for ages. We think it's winter gem, but they are big, they're beautiful, keeping it simple. Adding in pops of color though, of course, right? So we've got these 2 square planters on the step, like below the steps. This is the bottle rocket. So that heart-to-heart caladium bottle rocket is just fantastic. It can do sun or shade. Our front porch is in complete shade till about 2 o'clock, and then it gets all the hot afternoon sun. So I know that's a really common situation for a lot of folks, a lot of like shade early on and then hot intense sun. Another thing I want to show you, I need to take care of this before Friday, but I want to show, it's a teachable moment. So look at this caladium leaf. Do you see how it has the holes in it? This is because, and I have another one that has it too. This was a situation where the plant dried out, low humidity. I honestly don't know when that could have happened because it has been raining like crazy, but it was a while ago. So if you get the holes in there, nothing is chewing on it. It was low humidity, meaning that you need to water them more or just pay attention to them. So all you have to do is just come in, go down to the plant and cut it and remove this. Everybody else is doing great. I only have 2 leaves on this plant that are doing it, and I don't have any on that one. So there you go. The hanging baskets. So the hanging baskets, we have these massive hanging baskets. Get those from Kinsman Garden Company. They're 24 inches wide. They are huge. In the past 2 years, I have put the angel wing begonias in there with diamond frost. This year, I am testing out, this is the new Surefire Cascade begonia from Proven Winners. The verdict is still out whether I give them the thumbs up for these baskets. I like them, but they seem to be going more out than up. And with the angel wing, dragon wings, whichever one you want to call them, they were both up. They just had a bigger presence. And so, not sure really how I feel about these on my baskets right now, but time will tell. So I'm not giving them a verdict yet, but that is what this is, that Surefire Cascade, new for next year from Proven Winners. What I do know that I love, and my front door is open, don't know why that is, are these containers. So this is the Spanish urn from Unique Stone. Have the same ones on each side of the door, planted the exact same, not on irrigation, so I have to water this. We have got caladiums. Y'all, caladiums are the way to go if you're in the South, if you want a low maintenance plant. This is White Wonder. So we've got those in there with just that beautiful, more of that creamy white green edge, and it has a little bit of pink just at the very tippy top of it. Diamond Snow Euphorbia, and then of course the ever beloved Dichondra Silver Falls. So they are both planted the exact same way. And just doing great. If your Silver Falls gets too long, so we're getting close, all you have to do is just come in and trim it up just a little bit, because let me tell you, this thing will trail. That's why we love it, right? So there's 2 plants in here and they are gorgeous and stunning, but you know, if you have a long growing season like I do, you might need to trim them back a little bit. So the containers, doing really well right here. And then the last thing here on the front porch in the front yard is underneath our Hortsman. And we've got, yes, somebody dropped something. Let me put that up right quick. So we have got the blue Atlas cedar. This is a Hortsman. It's supposed to be a dwarf. She's not growing very tall much anymore, but she's getting wide. And you know what? It is what it is. She's gorgeous. Love this. So I do love this. Now, she could be trimmed up from the bottom.
Yeah, I was saying trim some of that.
Oh yeah, trim some from the bottom. We could trim a little bit on the bottom, but my gosh, y'all, this is a great tree. And the birds love this tree. The hummingbirds will use it as a perch to guard the feeder. I've got cardinals that come in here. So if you're looking to attract those birds, give them some place for protection. They love this tree. Again, keeping it simple. We just have that Double Delight pink begonia down here, and that is all that is in this bed. This bed, again, not on irrigation, and so yeah, this Hortsman is doing this well without irrigation. So I can't imagine if it had irrigation what we would be experiencing right now. So there you go for the front yard. As we were leaving the house gardens and we're making our way up to the berm, have to stop, of course, here at the daylilies. So these are, I have no clue what they are. They're just the classic old-timey yellow daylilies. Put these in when we first moved in the house 21 years ago, and they start to bloom the 1st of June, and then they will go basically through the month of June. Beautiful. Of course, they will open up fully once the sun hits them, but yeah, this beautiful display of just that classic yellow daylily, gorgeous. And then lantana. So we've got lantanas in here for some seasonal color, and we had planted the Perfecto Mundo double white azalea around the border. So these were just planted this spring. That lantana, of course, gives us nice pops of color that the pollinators love. And then what's in the center is a red hibiscus. Now this hibiscus was one that Jerry started years ago from seed. So this is a seed hibiscus that is really there for sentimental value, if nothing else. And then just a quick little update right here, because on this side we also planted the Perfecto Mundo double white azaleas in there. So we're turning this into an azalea bed because they just do well in here. This has been a struggle for us, but we have found that the azaleas do great, and so we're just leaning into that. We have some encores in the back, and then that was autumn twist. Those nice pink, and then the white of the Perfecto Mundo double whites, they will all rebloom. So those are reblooming azaleas. So especially in the fall, we will get a beautiful another display of azalea color. The berm is doing great. The berm is going into year 4, 2021. Yeah. 2021 is when in the fall we began construction, okay? So in like December of 2021 was when we planted the trees. Most of the shrubs and the perennials went in the spring of 2022. But just doing fabulous. You'll see that in the center, we don't have anything planted. We're going to landscape that. We have the plants, but it's gotten to the point in the season because we're gonna have a lot of azalea. We're gonna have the Perfecto Mundo white go in there, and then hydrangeas. And at this point, we're going into the heat of the summer. We're just gonna wait till the fall. So we've got the plants, they're hanging out. They are happy on the shrub lot, so we're gonna leave them there. This little corner has been here basically since we created it. Currently, so this is a quick fire fab. So we had quick fire fabs in the back. So imagine those in 3 to 4 years. Here you go. So these are gorgeous, lovely. We've got several in here. I'm trying to repeat plants throughout here. And then of course, this is that Stellar Ruby Magnolia from Southern Living. Beautiful, nice evergreen structure in here that is just doing really well. So we've got that. Lots of perennials that love the sun. This area gets hot, intense afternoon sun. It's in the shade right now. You can see that we've got sun down here. We'll walk down there, but that sun comes up and then they get the hottest afternoon sun. This corner that's currently in the sun gets the shade first. We've got, look at these holy grails, y'all. The Summerific Holy Grail Hibiscus. There's 3 on this side. We have more on the other side. Look at this. Massive, massive. They are covered in buds. This will, of course, be that nice, big, huge dinner plate with a red. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame they don't grow bigger, right? Obviously, these are going to be more short and wide than they are tall. So we've got the Holy Grail in here, the cherry trees. These are the Yoshino or the Kwanzas? Yoshinos. So just beautiful, gorgeous spring color. And then one of my favorite little corners of the garden is down here. So we have Pink Cascade 2 butterfly bush that is a beautiful, soft, pale pink, massive, huge blooms on it. She is covered in buds. But yeah, I mean, just a rock steady plant that does really well. And so Pink Cascade 2 is a great butterfly bush from our friends at Walter's Gardens. Love that. And then look at pufferfish. Pufferfish is loving life right here. Gorgeous. Of course, gets tons of sun in the morning, so it's a little bit more advanced than the other pufferfishes. You know, all of this was trimmed really well, and so getting those nice stocky stems just does a great job. And so there you go. And then, oh goodness, look at this. Look at all this new growth. So talking about rain and having tons of rain, you can see where we've had some wash. So we'll have to come in here, get the rake, and bring that back up. But what I'm talking about is, look at the growth on Kinsley's Ghost. Oh my gosh. So beautiful honeysuckle from Proven Winners. So what I need to do is come in here, and all of this is new growth. So it's not going to be really a self-twining. So I need to come in and attach it to the fence. But literally all of, like, this whole thing is brand new. Beautiful. It blooms in the spring. So the blooms will be on the center, and then they turn into berries, and they'll be red. Gorgeous.
Something about the difference in these leaves and this and the maturity.
Right. So exactly. So what Jerry's saying is, if you look at this leaf, right, look at that leaf versus this leaf. They look like a completely different plant. It's just the maturity. It's how the plant matures, right? So just like humans, as we mature, we change. I don't look the same that I did when I was 2, right? So the leaves will change as well. So don't freak out. Don't come in here and like cut it off and freak out. Just be patient. The plant's doing what it's gonna do, and they will change over time and have that consistency. But yeah, so I need to come in here and attach her to the fence next to my beautiful North Pole arborvitaes that are on the nursery side of the Burm. And so, my gosh, yeah, this whole area is doing great. Before we head up there, quick little update on this bed that I just planted a week ago today. So they have been in the ground for a week. Everybody is doing great. Transitioning this bed from all annuals into perennials and shrubs. So if you missed that video, you can go back and check that out to learn about all those plants. But yeah, 1 week in the ground, there you go. Everybody's doing great. So working up the berm, right? We have got, of course, the North Poles we're talking about, daylilies, king of ages. I have got this mass planted in several areas. Beautiful. Yes, daylilies are like most perennials are a quote once and done, but when they are blooming for those 4 to 6 weeks, they're stunning. Big, beautiful blooms on it. That bright yellow brings a big pop. It draws your eye in. So we have got those. The Princess Bride Eucomis, a pineapple lily. Look at this. We have got a flower bud. Jerry, I'm gonna let you come in here and look at this sweet little guy. It's called a pineapple lily. I think you can tell for obvious reason because it looks just like a little baby pineapple. It is just beginning to form, and so they will get nice and big. The sun is a booger-boo, but we've got the repeating that with the Holy Grail. So we've got 3 of them here with the Winecraft Gold Smoke Bush. And so this is in the center, nice big pop of color contrast with the Winecraft Gold and the hibiscus here. I mean, this is stunning, and it has filled in so nicely. So we've got those just huge. We do have irrigation on this bed, but again, it's not on a timer. It only comes on when we physically turn it on. We've not done that this season because of all the rain we have gotten, but when I do run it in the summertime in the heat, I will run it about once a week for 45 minutes. A nice, good, deep watering once a week, and they clearly are very happy. Look at this Agastache. This is the Queen Nectarine. It's one of my favorite Agastaches, relatively new from Proven Winners, and it is unbelievable. I mean, gorgeous. You've got Amsonia in there behind it, just nice and thick and lush and beautiful. And then we have the underneath the purple plum, we have got the little lime punches. So this is kind of that symmetrical portion of the bed. So we've got little lime punches on both sides, and then the Pugster pinkers here in the middle. Mass planting in the middle, just phenomenal. We've got the barberries in the back with that pop of orange. That's the orange pillar. And so just, you can see where they have that really upright habit, that nice bright pop of that red orange color to the garden. It's just lovely. Yes, we had the Shasta daisies in here. They have got smothered out. You know what? It is what it is, my friends. The garden is growing and developing. And so if I had the forethought, I would have gotten the daisies out. Didn't, but that's all right. Weigelas in here and more daylilies, just color, 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 color. So repeating, we also have the summerific hibiscus, back to the Holy Grail. So I have got 3 sections of the Holy Grail in the berm. So we have that, and then up here at the top, you will see the Quickfire Fab hydrangeas again. So we have them on both sides of the berm. So when Jerry puts the drone up, it'll look like one mass planting, and yes, the fence is down the middle, but I planted it thinking that kind of mirror both sides of the fence so that the whole garden as a whole goes together. And then probably one of the absolute biggest success stories of this berm is this thunderhead. This is a black Japanese pine. Y'all, this tree clearly loves this area. I mean, it has tripled in size since we've put it in here. Beautiful evergreen pine that is just thriving and doing wonderful. So love that. The berm as a whole is just doing absolutely phenomenal. Here at the Woodland garden, going up the driveway or coming in, however you want to look at it, everything is doing well. The hostas, oh my gosh, they are just thriving. It is June, so you know, we'll see how they look in August, but my gosh, they are doing really well. This is a new garden, so clearly we're underneath some massive, mature hardwood trees that soak up all the ounce of water and nutrition. So this is something that we have been developing. It is starting to really kind of take shape. Very happy with it, but I mean, you can see right here, right? You have got the same hydrangea. There's actually like 3 of them. And you've got itty bitty teeny tiny little guy, and then you've got all different sizes. You know, it could be tree roots, who knows what's going on right there. But overall, considering this bed, how it's doing, happy with it. Again, not turned on the irrigation. We do have irrigation in here, but have not turned it on. So yeah, so this space is one that's a work in progress, but has come such a long way and is doing well. The ruby slippers, these are the oak leaf hydrangeas. They are doing great. They're already starting to turn a little bit of that pink mauve color to them. We have 4 of them, I believe, in here. So yeah, oak leaves, of course, you don't want to prune them, because if you do, you want to do it like basically like right now, because after they've had that first flush of blooms, because they bloom on their old growth. So just kind of leave those alone. And then we were just in this bed not too long ago. Phenomenal. That's just all there is to it. This is another one that we have worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. I've lost so many plants. Plants were not successive. Plants were somewhat successive. Some were doing great, then they die. I mean, it's just, this has been a labor of love. It has finally come along and is doing great. But you've got a mix of hydrangeas and hostas, has really morphed into a shade garden just to kind of give you that look. And then of course, golden shadows. So golden shadows is a dogwood. It is from Proven Winners. It is more of a horizontal branching. You can see that those branches basically go straight out, except for that center leader that is going up. And so this year she has come into her own, planted this as a little tiny 1 gallon. This is her 3rd year, so she slept, she crept, this year she leapt. So really happy with how Golden Shadows is doing as far as that goes. Quick little update on the mailbox bed. Again, kept it super simple. Surefire red begonias with the skyrocket grass around it. No irrigation, y'all. So this is all about choosing those right plants, planting at the right time. The cooler the better to plant these. And then amending the soil, nice rich organic material in here, and then mulching. Mulch, 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 mulch. That retains the moisture, helps keep the weeds out. So it's not on irrigation, have not watered it, but we have been getting tons of rain. So there is that. So that is kind of the update on these gardens. Now we're going to head down to the nursery and look at the signature garden because she's gorgeous. As we come into the nursery, give you a quick little update on this bed. Jerry and I planted this, and there you go. We've got Super Tunia Vista Jazzberry in the front. Next is the graceful grasses, Skyrocket grass, great green, white variegated grass. Then we go into the Color Blaze, the Wicked Witch Coleus. And then there in the back is the Rockin' Playing the Blues. There we go. Playing the Blues salvias. So these will just take off. The hotter it is, the more water they get, they will be massive. So I would say you come back a month from now, they are going to be huge. You're not going to see any kind of soil. In the back, we have the Chindo viburnums. We planted in this bed, this was always annuals. We switched it over, and we've got 3 of those watermelon ruffles. So the watermelon ruffles that was up there, they are here. They're a little bit later because this does go into the shade about 1, 2 o'clock. So they're not quite as much sun as the one that was up on the hill. They're covered in buds, and they will be spectacular. All right, my friends, let's go into the signature garden because it is looking fabulous. Now, those again, faithful viewers, can you tell what Jerry got done yesterday? He got the pergola stained. Of course, all of this structure is brand new this year. The fence went in late winter. The posts went in. We have posts sticking out of the ground for a couple of months. We got the pergola built. We had to let it dry out for a little while before you can stain it. And so Jerry got it stained yesterday. And so the viewpoint going down is fantastic. We're going to hit that in a second. But he also got the barn stained. So the barn and the pergola are the same color. That is Lodge Brown from Sherwin-Williams. It is a stain. It is not a paint. And so all of our upright structures, the barns, the pergolas, are all that lovely brown. And then the fence, our tables, the benches are the black alder, because people always ask what the colors are. Again, a nice solid stain from Sherwin-Williams. So without further ado, let's go on into the garden. So the idea is that the pergola is a beautiful structure to have that nice upright structure in this space. Of course, this is the shrub lot leading into the signature garden. We debated on whether or not to put plants some sort of on the pergola. We asked you about it and gave us some great feedback, but we went with a lot of y'all and we have decided just to leave it as it is. Let the plants here, like, look, I mean, why do I need to add more work to us when we have such beautiful plants all around it anyway, like with these little lime punches? And then coming on in to the garden. So one of those final touches that we were doing is we've got the Pugster Pinkers planted in these aqua pots. I wanted them to beef them up a little bit because you can see that they seem a little empty on the ankles. And so Brian was in the process of adding in some nice fillers. And so he stepped away for a moment so that we could come in here and film. But coming into the signature garden, Saffron Finch, Super Tunia Saffron Finch, she is just lovely. This is a triple row, so they are in here. They are fantastic. Again, not them themselves specifically are on irrigation. We've had so much rain, but we do have irrigation within the bed. I think maybe we've turned it on just a handful of times for it to come on, but you've got this beautiful layer of the Super Tunia Saffron Finch, then we've got the Sprinter Boxwoods, and then the Little Lime Punch Hydrangeas. And both of these raised beds at the entrance are planted the exact same. So the The little lime punches, again, little bit behind. They're starting to show some color here on the blooms, but beautiful. So the idea is that we will have a hedge of the hydrangeas and a hedge of the sprinter boxwoods, and they will just kiss each other. As far as the annuals, we kept it simple, sweetie, this year, and oh my gosh, it was a little bit of a slow start, but they are coming in, and I'm gonna grab this weed while I see it, because I don't know about you, but in our gardens, we can pass by a spot 100 times and get all the weeds. And then that 101st time through, then you spot that weed. So I'm gonna grab it now before I forget about it. But we have on the corners that Mini Vista plum veined, same one at the house, beautiful. The pink dahlia, the pink horrific, and then the unplugged So White salvia. And you can see how this hydrangea is really growing and kind of coming here and starting to kind of push back the salvias. That's okay. And honestly, if this hydrangea keeps growing, I may come in here later this season and remove that salvia, because it's more important for me that the hydrangea grows and fills in than the annuals. And then coming down the center, we just kept, again, simple. This is, of course, that, oh my gosh, y'all love this plant like we do. This is the Superbena pink cashmere, and that's all that's in here. And then so all four corners are planted the same, pink cashmere on the front. Boom, there you go. Keeping it simple, sweetie. Big impact, beautiful color. And then if you've been here in the Signature Garden before, you know that this is the formal section of the Signature Garden. The 4 outside beds are going to be shrubs and perennials, so we can walk through those. They are similar, but they are different. So they're like siblings. They are not quadruplets, right? Identical quadruplets. And then the identical quadruplets of the garden are going to be the 4 inner beds that have the annuals. And my gosh, it has been probably 3 days since I've been in here, and they have filled in so nicely. So let's hit the annual beds first, because if I show you one, then they all look the same because they're all planted the same. So what we wanted to do when I was designing these beds was to have my height in the middle and then work down from that, because they are an interesting shape. So they're kind of challenging on that aspect. But here in the middle, we have got that Rockin' Playin' the Blues salvia. Again, gorgeous plant. Will get tall in that 2.5 to 3 foot height. The pollinators love it. I got honeybees here, and we're still in the morning shade, so we've got that. Then coming this way, a huge, nice long ribbon of that Color Blaze Mini Me Chartreuse, which is new this year. That is a coleus. And then the Air Magica purple heliotrope. I mean, look at the foliage on this and the blooms. Like right here, this is the perfect specimen, because you've got these beautiful colors, massive flowers, beautiful foliage. And this plant will look like this, but bigger, even at the very end of the season, October, November. Japanese beetles don't like it, but your pollinators do love this. So that is on the back side. And you'll notice I tried very, very hard to leave a nice border. So when Chandler comes through and cuts the grass and is edging the grass, he doesn't get all these annuals in the way. So we've got the salvias, then we have got the Angel Face Wedgwood Pink, Angelonia, all the way around. So we've got that lovely section, that great bicolor, that white, soft pink. And then there in the front, we have got the pentas. This is the Sunstar Rose. Another, she looks like a penta, she's not. And then obviously either a critter came through or something and stepped on this one. So if we have another Sunstar Rose, we can replace that. But yeah, so even in the professional gardens, y'all, there's still always issues. Things happen. We did a little pocket of the Virtuoso Pinkerifics. So we've got them here, we've got them there. We also have them in another section. So a little pocket here, and then the Purple Fountain Grass. I love this plant, y'all. At some point every year, it will be in my garden somewhere. We did 3 of them together because I wanted to beef it up as quickly as I possibly can. Beautiful annual grass, does the plumes. We're going to do another tour, probably a couple more tours in here, but at the end of the season, this is going to be massive. And then last but not least, on the corners are the Stardiva Blue. This is a scavola, and so you can see here how they mirror each other. So when we plant these beds, these 4 inner beds, we want them to look the exact same. It's going to be fantastic from the drone down. You'll really get to see how the garden is formed. And then back here, before we forget, at the fountain, we have, this is the new this year, the Super Tunia pink tiara pink. I always get them back and forth. But that tiara pink has that almost that white throat and then fades into a really nice, beautiful shade of pink. So we do a mass planting here, really big, huge impact. Again, when we put the drone up, it is just going to be a beautiful display. All right, now let's hit the 4 outside perennial beds. We're going to run through these 4 outside beds. You're going to see plants that are repeated and plants that are unique. So Boom Chocolata geranium, this is in every single one of the beds. We have already deadheaded it. The opalescence phlox, I mean, she is gorgeous. And she smells divine, beautiful. So we have the phlox here. Each bed will have a baptisia. Of course, baptisias have already bloomed. The monardas are coming out of all of their glory. They just have a couple more petals on them. Each bed is going to have a hydrangea in it, and so hydrangea, the hibiscus, of course, and this one actually has 2 in this bed, and I think this is Quickfire Fab in here, the tags on the other side, and then of course the gardenias. So we try to do that mix of the perennials and the shrubs in here. Of course, we've got another eucomis in here. She is getting ready to bloom. So the idea is, when we were designing these beds, is that of course I want them to all flow together, but I want to give people, I'm going to put as many plants in here for people to see, right? So when our customers, our visitors come, they can see what Limelight Prime looks like here in the garden. What does the yarrow, the achillea look like? The Tuscan Gold Heliopsis, what does that look like? The gardenias, I think this is Valentine's Crush on this one. It's either Valentine's or Lilac Crush. And so you can actually see what these plants look like in the landscape. Double play doozy, like literally I was talking to a customer and her daughter wanted her to get some of the double play doozy, and she says, well, I don't know what that plant is. And I said, well, come with me, I will show you what it looks like here in the garden. And so we were able to walk over here and I could show her exactly what it looked like and whether she wanted to have that in her garden or not. On the outside, we have on the back here, we have the All That Glitters and Glows viburnums. They have already bloomed, and those blooms are now turning into berries. So this fall, these berries will be blue, and so they will give a really fun display. While we are waiting for these to fill in, we have the Campfire Biden's marshmallow, and so this is a really cute, small, annual, looks like a little daisy, and will give plenty of room and sunshine for the All That Glitters and Glows to go ahead and grow and be happy. Here, again, the Boom Chocolata, but instead of double play doozy, we have candy corn. So you've got the candy corn spirea, you have got gorgeous daylilies, you have got another hibiscus in here. This is the opposite. One is Valentine's Crush and one is Lilac Crush. I don't remember which is which, and the tag is buried in there as well. And then repeat that daylily that we have on the other side. So all is doing well in this one, and then over here we have got yet the last bed, and so we've got beautiful those pink and purple daylilies with incredible blush hydrangea here. We've got this is, I think, either Edge of Night or Holy Grail. Again, one is one and one is the other, and so just giving people those ideas of what they look like. The Serendipity alliums, right? So they're over here getting ready to just burst forth with tons of color and just lots of options. So everything is looking lush. This is its second season in the ground, and so if this is the creep year, I can't imagine what the third year of leap is going to be. And while we're here, we're going to hit this bed. This bed is less than a year old. This is a bed where the plants really thrive in damp conditions because of all the drainage we have and the natural springs, everything here loves to have wet feet. It is in the sun till about, this corner starts to get the shade first. It's getting shade now, and then it will definitely be in the full shade by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the Lance Dance Arebas are doing well. The hostas, just loads of different plants in here. So we try to show you, you know, what is going to do. We're going to walk and talk at the same time. If you have really wet conditions, what are plants that you can put in there? If you have areas that get tons of morning sun, but then afternoon shade, what are some options? What are some options that are in the shade in the morning and is not on irrigation? Because while the inside, the formal part of the garden is on irrigation, these beds that we're getting ready to show you, no irrigation whatsoever. Let's see, we're gonna spin just a little bit and come over here, and then we're gonna work our way around. So speaking of no irrigation, different growing conditions, this hill, this woodland hill, we just cleared out the underbrush this winter. And then we came through and we've got some Japanese maples we planted. We've got Kusa dogwoods in here. And then we have, we've got the surefire begonias and the coleus. Now, getting up close, bless their hearts. One, this is what we've got to do before Friday, is put some mulch in here, and that's why I think they've really struggled. If you look from a distance, they look great. You've got those red pops of red on the begonias. Up close, maybe not so much. The coleus is doing well, but if we had mulched this at the appropriate time, they would be doing a lot better. Overall, they're doing fine, but they're not primo. And you know what? That's life. So when you come to Creekside, you're going to get real life gardening, my friends. The messes and successes. Now over here, this is definitely what I would call a success, because when we installed it, we did it right. And we put down beautiful, organic, rich soil in here. It was that, I think this was the Daddy Pete. No, black gold?
Black gold is the beginning.
Black gold was the beginning. The Daddy Pete was the mulch on top. So we have a Midnight Express red bud, and then all in the back, y'all, those tough stuff hydrangeas, are they not just, I mean, there is tons of new growth. They are happy, happy, happy hydrangeas. So they are doing well. We've got in front of those, we've got the double up pink begonias, and then of course repeating with this color blaze coleus, that mini me is just fantastic. So this area is kind of planted symmetrical with the begonias, and then as we come through, all on the back is the we've got that white Cleome, that's the Senorita Blanca Cleome through here, and then of course the sun patience. So this is that orchid. They have grown really well together. Y'all, no irrigation in here. This is all the Lord giving us rain, and so they are doing well. We've got a Rocksteady Vitex. She was just planted. She's not quite blooming yet, and so that'll be like another small tree. And then look at this. This is Aphrodite. This is the sweet shrub. Look at that. A great native shrub. She is loving life and has gotten massive this year. She can be like, what, 6 to 10 feet tall and wide. So this is where the annuals come in. Put those annuals all around her. Wait for her to fill in. She has been blooming, I don't know, 6 weeks now, and just doing great. So continuing that, and then of course the Cleome all the way around back here, and the sun patience, that orchid really just kind of pops and makes such a nice beautiful impact back there. And then as we work our way around kind of the nook, we're coming back in, and then we're going to transition into like the Senorita Rosalita Cleome. So we're going from white to pink, and then into the shrubs through here. So we've got some gardenias in here, we've got some Indian hawthorns, and then as we're moving on down, we had a lot of the pink dahlias, and so we brought those over from the garden and kind of continued that over here and did a mass planting. So we've got a nice big pop of color while we're waiting on our soft serves to grow. So we've got that with the Cleome, so just filling in. So while you're waiting on your shrubs, your perennials to fill in, go ahead and get some annuals, pop them in there, and that's what's perfect about doing that in here. And so just working our way around, lots of beautiful plants. And yeah, so whether you're gardening on a massive scale like we are, which is not normal, we fully recognize that the gardens we have are not normal, but we, as a garden center, and then of course because of our social media presence, that is our job. And so we do these tours because we want to inspire you, also to give you updates, because so many of you are faithful viewers and you want to know, well, how's this bed doing, or how's this doing, and yada, yada, yada. So here we are showing you, and I feel better about doing a massive garden tour all at one time when everything is ready, because doing this signature experience really is like getting ready for a wedding at the house. And so everything is looking great. And so you've got gardens that are mature, that have been here for a long time, and then you've got brand new gardens that have relatively new. And so we hope to inspire you, to give you an idea. Again, if you find one plant or you come away with one idea that you can implement in your garden, then that makes this video completely worth it. So we do hope you have found it fun, informative, and inspirational. If so, we would love it if you would like and subscribe. That way you don't miss those videos that we do each and every week. But yeah, I'm gonna go stop talking now because, oh my gosh, I don't think I've taught this much in a long time. So we're gonna have a great day. Again, a couple days before the signature experience actually happens. Time of the video, it will already be over. Monday, we're going to give you a recap, a behind the scenes of getting ready, like the day. So stay tuned on Monday to see all the fun shenanigans that happen on setup day and some fun pictures of the actual event. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.